Conscious collaboration brings together entrepreneurs, changemakers, and thought leaders. We aim to highlight the people that embody the idea of aligned mind, body, and business. Each week, we share, discuss, and learn from the various experiences and ideas of our guest experts. Through our discovery, we find a path to an aligned mind, body, and business.
What up, y'all? This is Emily.
And I'm Lisa, and we are the Conscious Collaboration.
Yes, we are. Something in me always wants to like yeehaw, even though I never do that in life. So I don't know. I don't know what's up with that.
Other podcasts have like signature openings that, will have a yeehaw or something.
But that's not me.
No. And it's, it keeps it more interesting and fresh if just whatever comes to mind comes out.
Yeah.
And no take back. If it comes out weird, you just leave it.
We listen and we do not judge.
We listen and we do not judge. To that point, I was still reflecting on our conversation from last week, and we kind of touched on a lot of different themes from being under pressure. We scratched the surface and some strength training topics even inside of that. I think that we could still do a little more work around really honing in on what the energy is for us right now, because it seems like a lot of people are in this transitory phase, and myself included, and I know you too. I don't know how much we want to share about what's going on in our own personal lives, but I personally could use a little more support and collaboration around that. And I think last week was very cathartic. So let's keep on that theme and see how far we're progressing. Does that sound good?
Word.
Yeah. So,
yeehaw!
Yeehaw, people. I like, so I was working with my AI tool in
Choopy.
Choopy. She doesn't like that name, just so you know. Yeah.
Rude.
It's not. Well, I like that. I like that my AI challenges me on some things, because a lot of the AI bots I've built are just like, you're the best, you're the greatest, whatever you want. And this one I didn't build that way. So it's going to challenge me on things that are just stupid. And I need that, because I can really get brazenly delusional on some topics. But anyways, I was working on some of our social media posts, and I like some of the alternative titles and themes that it came up for the energy of the last week and check-in. And it was talking about just the concept of being like pressure cooked. And so I like that. I like that idea that when you're under pressure, you're like cooking something. And so sometimes when we feel like a lot of pressure, you're like, oh my God, this is too much pressure, I want to bail out. You're really just on the verge of like creating this fantastic casserole in your pressure cooker. But
I don't know if it's like a nature versus nurture thing, just kind of a personality trait. Like, I don't know what it is. And this is, I will admit, it can be a kind of stressful way to live.
Mm-hmm.
But I always felt like I've done better under pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a right amount. I think there's a right dose. But I think if I have too much, I don't want to say too much freedom, but like, very little structure or pressure.
Yeah.
I think I tend to be a little more maybe lackadaisical.
I think it comes back to the intentionality, and it's like really forced on us when we're under pressure to be very direct and intentional about everything that we're doing. And I guess some of us we thrive under procrastination or like that extra ounce of pressure. Whereas like, I don't know who I was talking to about this, but it's like, when you go through life, are you very intentional, or are you just like a jellyfish and you're just absorbing whatever comes, whatever you bump into, you absorb it.
Jellyfish.
Jellyfish vibes.
Interesting analogy. Okay.
It's kind of like blobbing around,
Blobbing.
just blobbing around, just taking it. I'm not saying it's wrong. I just don't think that's the way that I do things. And so I have found, like, always, and this is just always a lesson. If we go back the however many years we've been doing this, 3 years, we've been doing it, to our earlier podcast, we had talked a lot about this too, but it's always when we feel like we're at the edge, of just, it's scary. It's like standing on the edge of like a cliff when you're about to bungee jump.
Sure.
But on the other side of that is like the best thing ever. So it's being able to recognize that uncomfortableness is not really like you're going to die. It's usually pretty like exhilarating on the other side, because it's really like that place we've never been before, in terms of, whatever we talk a lot about our businesses, but being the entrepreneurs, but it's that on the other side of that extreme pressure is like the biggest project or this opportunity that we wouldn't have thought of otherwise, but you're not going to find that by being blobbing through things.
Comfortable, no growth in the comfort zone.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think there's a lot around that. And I just think it's still in my personal energy right now. I don't know what's going on astrologically, to be honest. I haven't been able to catch up. Just my Geminis.
Well, Jupiter, I don't know either, largely. I do know that Jupiter is in Gemini for just another couple weeks. And I think that Jupiter is just a big player in a lot of ways right now, which the biggest sort of characteristic there is expansion. So, I mean, that is kind of what you're talking about, that standing on the edge of like the next big thing, which can feel really exhilarating, maybe scary to some. I think it just kind of depends on your perspective, but I would encourage people to look at it with that more like exhilarated lens, as opposed to letting the fear take over.
Yeah. I mean, and also things don't, and I think what we touched upon that was really, made me curious, is that things don't always look the way we expect them to look. So
They rarely do, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of people say no to things because it's not the outcome that they expected. Like the door looks different. So I think this is a time where you don't say no to things just because you're like, that's not my area. That's not what I normally do. I think there's like so much to be said for, recognizing our opportunities can come in different forms. And so like, if someone's coming to you and you're like, that's not my realm of experience, we'll have that conversation anyway, because either it could be a connection with them or who they know or whatever. So I think
that was kind of like my whole theme for 2025.
Yeah.
Just to, make life different and better. Like I was going to knock on all doors and at least entertain all possibilities.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's where the best things are coming from. It's from taking the time to be present with people that are coming to you, even if you're not quite sure why. Like it could be, have the coffee or just have the conversation or the phone call or whatever. You just don't know. But I think this is the type of energy where the opportunities are going to come in that form. The universe is funny in that way. It's not going to be exactly always served on a silver platter right off the bat.
Especially if you're, sort of aiming for a large scale goal or manifestation that you really that you don't know, right? Like
Mhm.
you don't know what the path is. You know that's, where you want to get to in some capacity. So you really have to open yourself to all possibilities in
Yeah,
that case.
I think so. I think so too, and to your point, talking about the 2025, like what the themes are in mantras surrounding that. Um, and by the way, our alignment guide's getting lots of downloads, and here we are in the middle of the year. I mean, it's never too late um,
No,
to explore
no.
different ways because I think when we set out and we did our alignment guide super short, it's only like the crux of all the things that we practice in our own personal lives or that we try to maintain.
It's
But
just like checking the oil level on your car. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a big fancy event.
it doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be difficult. It doesn't have to be lots of steps. Um, and I think when we have busy lives like this, that's the way, it doesn't have to look the way that everybody else is doing it. So if you're just now starting midway through the year and being like, let me try out some of these practices of alignment and see what that does. Um, I'm not saying even being a jellyfish in life is a terrible idea, but, try on for size just a little bit more directed intention and like, oh gosh, I don't know who. I think it might even be that girl on Instagram that I sent you that looked like an AI, but I don't think she is. I think it's just really good filters.
Mm.
But it's the idea behind intentionality. It's not, sure things manifest on the exterior, but it's everything internally that that does the attraction work for us. That does that alignment towards actualizing whatever it is that we desire. Um, and it means also being bold enough to step into that and embody it. And when you're nurturing your mindset and your body, um, you're well enough to be able to recognize things and to sustain the energy that you need. And even like the mental capacity to push through the fear when you feel like you're on the edge.
And the mental capacity, I would say to, because really the solution to a lot of fear or other what you might consider negative or limiting
Mhm.
emotions, is a change in perspective.
Yeah.
And what gets measured gets managed. So looking at where might I be misaligned right now could help you to change that perspective. And you can, I mean, I'm experiencing this in a lot of ways right now. Like you can literally change your entire universe if you change your perspective about
Hmm.
certain things that a lot of times are so ingrained in us, like we don't even realize that they're limiting us and
Yeah.
holding us back. And
Yeah.
that's again, it's not some big fancy event um
Yeah.
to be able to make those shifts, and your entire life can change in the blink of an eye.
I like with the invention of AI how people are talking a lot more about, you know, our internal programming is our mindset and like how do you, thinking of things in that way, the words that you feed yourself are programming you and that manifests in how you speak and how you carry yourself and how you walk and what your accountability and just the body work too. Um, that's challenge. It's not. It's part. It's what you do day in and day out. But without you, I mean, yeah, I think. I think I would be mildly active, but I probably wouldn't be putting giant weights on a bar and trying to pick them up. It wouldn't even come into my realm of understanding that that's even a good idea. But taking care of your body to be that container. You were talking about the container of potential last week.
The container of some really perky glutes, if I may.
Yes.
If I may say so.
And that's your favorite part. Yeah. Let's see what, let's continue that story and see what the energy is in this week. And this is like really microscopically, this will be really quick because it's just going to be more nuanced on what the energy is around our collective right now. And then what we can do in this coming week to move forward and really maintain our momentum, because I know that we've been putting some energy there, and clarity to recognize those doors that we might not otherwise recognize. Oh, that flew out. So it's the energy of 63 after completion. Can you see that? There's kind of like a glare.
Kind of, yeah. The white is taking over a lot. I don't know why I saw kind of like a bird head.
Yeah, in the reflection, it does look like a bird head. I do see that. It's kind of like.
And there's some Niagara Falls going on.
Yeah, it's like
some steam coming up from the ground.
Yeah, like a black volcanic mountain amidst some hills. And you're
what was the text on it? What's the
So after completion, it's
after completion.
Yeah, it's water above and fire below. So if we're thinking about what happened last week and talking about the container of potential after completion, so that can mean a lot of things. Moving forward, these are both hexagrams that are multiples of 9. So this is hexagram 9, small influences. And then after completion is 63. So very auspicious reading, and that it is about the energy of completion. 9s are all about actualization. So I think my intuition is telling me that we're standing in the actualization of what we're setting out. It might not look like it, might not feel like it, maybe because we just don't know. We don't know what it feels like. I think that makes sense for you. I think it can make sense for me as well. So you could be standing in a place that's after completion. It might not feel like you've achieved your goal, but I think on some level you have. There's the completion of a project, a grand enterprise, but there's still so much to do. And I think that's why you might not feel complete.
Well, and with completion, right, it's a chapter completion.
Mm-hmm.
It begins a new chapter.
Yes, exactly. It's like, yeah. And I think we've gotten this before. It's the still point between the inhalation and the exhalation. And it's like a restful pause. So you've gotten to the top of the hill, but now you can see there are so many other hills to climb. So we're just in a place of pause. It talks about, even as we enjoy a rewarding situation, the laws of the natural world dictate that influence and success must eventually decline. So don't let your current good fortune give rise to adopting an attitude that is too careless or relaxed. Mm-hmm. Just like you said, there's still so much to do in this energy. And I would guess maybe take a look at the circumstances that have come about since the last time that we checked in, and see what is it that's come full circle. Are you recognizing that something completed, or are you so busy that you didn't even pause to understand? So it does talk about when one has scaled a difficult cliff, there is a natural tendency to look back and revel in the drama of having overcome it. And it's kind of like we were talking about at the beginning of this episode, even just like standing on the edge of a cliff. Focus on forward movement. Don't hesitate or allow yourself to be complacent or self-congratulatory. If you take the time to pause, greater risk could quickly mount up. So, yeah, it's like keep the momentum going. There's more to navigate besides where we are looking, and look forward, not backwards. So, standing in this and looking back in admiration for ourselves actually invites back in old challenges. So, move on, let go of the challenges. If it's something that you personally overcome, if there's like a life lesson that keeps surfacing, just move on. Don't keep talking about it. I can't believe I overcame that. Let's keep talking. And, if it's something that is a lesson that keeps coming back and coming back, you don't want to get stuck in that trauma.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're sensing a kind of stagnation has seeped into your situation because of past success, your talents may be hidden by the circumstances or by efforts of those in positions of power. So avoid attracting attention to yourself through any immodest behavior. So behave.
Behave. Oh, behave.
Anything that's rightfully yours cannot be denied in the end. So if there's someone that's, say, you're an entrepreneur, someone in your field, at this time, recognize that you've come to a place of like achievement. Don't revel in it. You may see someone else, kind of like you might feel they're overthrowing your power or your throne, but they're not. Don't try to smite them, or even just don't even pay attention to it.
Smite. What a word.
I don't know. I don't even know what that means. It just came out. It's not even written in this, but
I've never used that word in my life.
I think I've read it like in spell books and stuff.
Olivia and I had a little karma convo in the car this morning.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, well, and I was telling her, like, you don't ever basically need to try to smite somebody.
Yeah.
Even if they've done you wrong, like it'll balance out.
Yeah. I mean, and so moving forward, and like what you just said too, things will balance out. These small influences are the way to go. Be very gentle. It's a time for smooth and friendly persuasion.
Smooth and friendly.
Yes. Smooth criminal, but not criminal because that's bad.
Yeah.
So when the tide is rolling in, by all means, ride the waves. And when they are receding, just like they are now, however, focus on little things. When you can't do too much to affect large matters, persuasion and subtle influences prepares the way for stronger moves in the future. Use your intuition to chart your long-term course, but avoid bold actions as they unlikely will work at this time. So it's better to refine your existing abilities, or develop yourself in small ways rather than taking on something grand. Gentleness, again, key word. Whatever is on your mind right now, combined with determination, is likely to generate more progress than using brute force or trying to smite someone. That's not in the text. I just do that.
Oh. Like, no way.
No way. Yeah, it definitely isn't. So just be like, maybe just try to soften it a little bit, being friendly and making soft connections. You don't need to hard sell anybody into anything at this time.
Just be cool.
Yeah, just be cool. And you know what? I kind of did get some jellyfish vibes in the small influences. Do you see a jellyfish?
A little bit, like a blobbing.
Blobs and they're like bubbles, maybe. Wind above and sky below. So, being light about things in this, next week or so with that forward momentum, but no brute force, and being kind and not showy about things. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's pretty good. Yeah, I don't think when you're pursuing, especially as a visionary thought leader, an entrepreneur, sometimes well, most of the time, your territory is so uncharted that it's unrecognizable. So instead of looking at something like, oh, this is fun, because it's unrecognizable in a new path, you're like, oh my God, it's scary.
Shift that perspective.
The perspective.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like it. Does that mean anything for you in this week?
Yeah. I mean,
Everything.
it means a lot. Yeah. I definitely just got to the top of a major hill and I see
Mhm.
lots more hills to climb, but I'm not sweating it.
Yeah. What's
I'm
meant for
like,
you
cool.
is meant for you. Yeah.
Let's go.
And being kind and enthusiastic and collaborative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Keep knocking on those doors. Don't reject anything before you've entertained the possibility, because you just never know.
You never know. So say yes. Say yes to the coffees, to the phone calls, of the things that don't look like what you would normally be pursuing.
Mm-hmm.
um, because it's likely behind that is your potential.
And another kind of one of those energies that I elected to take on at the beginning of 2025 that I think is relevant to this and would be good for anybody is, instead of saying I can't do something, right? Like immediately, a lot of times when we, see or think of something, say, really grand, or that
Mhm.
seems really grand that we want to do or to have in our lives, like my tendency right off the bat would a lot of times just be to think of the reasons why I can't do that or
Yeah.
can't have that. But instead of saying I can't, ask, how can I?
Hmm.
And then, go about your business and watch the answers appear.
Yeah. I don't know what episode this was that we did early on, but remember, I think it was the Watch Me episode.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that was in the show title or not, but Watch Me, but like the Watch Me
Mm-hmm.
vibe. So like if it's a new project you've never done before, why am I so good at this, even though I've
Mm-hmm.
never done it before? And then your mind answers you and all the reasons why you're the best person to do that thing that
Mm-hmm.
you've never done before. Instead of
It's
like,
all part of the perspective
yeah,
shift.
instead of I've never done this before, I can't do it. Is what this opportunity came to me. Why am I so good at it? Why am I the best at it?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Start asking the questions that'll lead you to the thing or the goal.
Hmm. Yeah. And I like to also, when you were saying that, it made me think of the practice of going about your day is like, you and I are always touching base with like reels and messages and stuff, but looking at your day and your challenges, like I can't wait to tell Emily about how cool this was when I did it, or
Mm.
how, making making it, allowing everything to be kind of like a cool story to tell. I can't wait to tell
Mhm. Mhm.
Emily the other side of this story, or um because it's so it's so something I never imagined kind of before. I think a lot of times we squash our own magic because we just think
Mhm.
it's boring.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't squash the magic.
Don't
Anyway.
quit squashing.
Yeah,
Squashing and smiting
it's a
yourself.
cool story.
Don't
Yeah.
smite
So
yourself.
yes. So enjoy your after completion vibes today and all the little small influences that are magical little jellyfish bubbles.
But don't touch the jellyfish.
Yeah, yes, that's right.
Just admire it.
Yes, it doesn't like that. All right, Emily. Well, I'm going to let you get back to your day and I'm going to plug back into mine, but I'll hop inside of the Conscious Collaboration Collective, our closed and private Facebook group, and put out some feelers there, not some jellyfish feelers. See how everybody's doing and if this resonates, and we'll talk to you all next week.
Sounds good. Talk to you in 5.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank y'all so much for listening to our podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends so they can join our circle of collaboration on this journey. You can find us on Instagram at Conscious Collaboration Podcast, on Spotify, iTunes, and Audible, to name a few. Please join us next time for another deep dive into how you can live life in more alignment, mind, body, and business. Send us your questions and comments in our DMs or email us at consciouscollaborationpodcast@gmail.com. See you in 5 minutes.